golf is the only thing in golf that doesn't change. The only thing that changes the person playing.
Is this man a one-time winner on the PGA Tour?
The point, Alan, is he didn't go Hollywood.
You need a fourth? So I think we can all agree that Echo golf shoes changed the game when Fred Couples rolled up wearing them without socks. It spoke to their comfort and just sort of that effortless cool. But you have an Arnold Palmer story I want to hear, right? Let's hear it, Mike.
Have I ever told you about my last visit with Arnold? I saw Arnold. I would like to think no reporter saw Arnold more than I did when he was in his 80s. My last visit with him was in Latrobe, and I drove there wearing these pathetic Birkenstocks. When I got, I'll just wear my shoes when I get there. But when I got there, all I had was my Echo golf shoes, and Arnold's really formal. And I'm going into his office with my cleaned up Echo golf shoes, and Arnold's like checking me out, and he's nodding. And I said, "Arnold, are you looking at my socks?" And Arnold's like, "No, I'm looking at your shoes." And then Arnold talked about all the different shoes he wore, and no question, Arnold dug the Echo shoe. I love the Echo shoe. I know you do too. It's a great shoe, and I'm sales resistant.
If it's good enough for Arnold Palmer and Fred Couples, it's good enough for the rest of you. So go to echo.com and you can find one that fits, that you like, that people will stare at, like Arnie. So back to Need a Fourth. All right. Hello, this is Alan Shipnuck back for another Need a Fourth podcast. As you know by now, this is the podcast in which myself, Geoff Ogilvy, and Michael Bamberger take turns surprising each other with eclectic guests. Michael, you brought our unnamed, unknown guest aboard for this episode. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he's a star of stage and screen. He is Larry David's cousin in real life and on the show. That's something a lot of people don't know.
Oh wow! Well, I mean, there's so many people who go in and out of Curb. Give us a little more help here.
He plays at Lakeside. Geoff, have you ever played Lakeside?
I haven't played Lakeside. I hear it's great though.
It is.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Wait, I was just there not too long ago.
Did you happen to see a star of stage and screen, who's Larry David's cousin, both in real life and on a TV show?
I didn't, but I think I saw his locker. Would it be Rich Kind?
Yep, one and only. Rich, come on.
Wow.
Come on.
Hold on.
Wow.
I'm not his cousin in real life.
Well, for the purposes of this show, you are, Rich. We just make stuff up.
Okay.
Just go with it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yep. Now, Rich, how exactly are you guys related? Are your brothers, fathers, or how does that work?
It works if lineage takes you to your family. There was no lineage. My parents didn't even shop at the same deli that he did. That his parents did. I've never met him. I don't know him. We played cousins on the show.
Okay, for those who don't know, Rich Kind is a long time. Everyone knows Rich Kind because he's got a face that literally millions of people know. Rich played golf. Okay, Rich, no, you take over. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, are people seeing my face here, or are they only hearing me?
Oh no, they're seeing you. Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, well, you know who I am. If you see my face, it's him. That's does he owe me money? When I go to high school with him? Oh, I like him.
With respect, Rich, I think your voice may give you away as well.
It does sometimes. People will say that they hear me on the street, and it's not my face that stops them; it's my voice, and they turn around.
Rich, I understand you played golf today. Where'd you play? Who'd you play with, and how'd you go?
I will tell you. I played at a place called Ibis. Does this go across?
Yes.
IBIS. Do you know it, Michael?
I've heard of it, but I don't know it. I didn't know how to pronounce it until just now. Okay.
Ibis. The man writes for a living and cannot put IBIS together. Okay. This is... okay. My dad was a retailer. He had a retail store in Princeton. So Christmas, when all the Jews go down to Florida...
Hold it. Rich, you're Jewish?
According to Larry David, according to his parents, I'm Jewish. So when they all come down to Florida, we never did because my dad had to be at the store because it's Christmas time. He had a jewelry store. That was the big time. So I never came to the state of Florida until I was 23 years old. So I don't know Florida at all. And I know that people retire here and everything. I have a friend who belongs to a course in Naples. And now my friends, I've come to Ibis. How much do I want to retire? It's unbelievable. The life of retirement, you play golf every day. However, I like acting better. Do I like acting better? There was a time when I liked acting better than golf. I don't know whether or not I love acting, and I have a great job. I'm on a show on CBS on Sunday nights called East New York, and I play a cop. And I'm not funny on the show, but it's a great, great show. And I can't believe at my age, with my sort of comic resume, I get to play a cop. It's fantastic. So that's what I get to do.
And your producer's a pretty serious golfer as well, our friend Mike Robin.
Yes, Mike Robin. Yes. I thought you were going to do, yes. Mike Robin, and not only a serious golfer, a pretty great golfer. I think he played for University of Texas. Am I correct?
No, I played for the University of Miami in the Nathaniel Crosby era.
Oh, did he?
He did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's a great, great golfer. Oh, so beautiful. And belongs to the best clubs. He's everything. And a nice guy. But you know why he's also nice? The guy is unflappable. Unflappable. If he gets angry, you would never know it.
Rich, I would like to remind you that Geoff Ogilvy is part of this conversation. He won a U.S. Open. So when you say that Mike Robin, who's a wonderful golfer, is a very great golfer, where does that leave a Geoff Ogilvy who's won a U.S. Open? How many varies are you going to use for him?
Oh, okay. You want to know something? When you play with a professional golfer and you say, wow, great shot, you just get tired of it. They don't need to hear it. They know it. They step up to the ball and they know before they even hit it that the words great shots will be accompanying their swing. An amateur golfer, a very good golfer, would like to hear it. But it's like I was at the range the other day, about a month ago, and taking a lesson, and I was with one of the pros from Lakeside, and there must have been 15, 20 guys all hitting balls, and there was one woman college golfer on the range. And he turns to me and goes, well, at least one person knows how to hit the ball at this range. That college golfer, that female, knows how to hit a ball. Everybody plays pretty well, and you go, wow, nice shot. Only one is a golfer. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. Rich, I'm gonna get out of the way here. I'm gonna pose one question for you to ask a question of. You've got Geoff Ogilvy here. We all struggle with different parts of our game. Geoff, we had Ben Crenshaw on, and Geoff asked Ben Crenshaw about putting. Rich, here's your opportunity. Get a swing tip or a golf tip from Geoff Ogilvy, and then I'm going to turn it over to those guys. Let them take over.
Well, geez, there's so many. The minute that you open that floodgate, there's so many things. How do I stop swaying over the ball? What is the best way to think of not, because I'm trying to take it back. Of course, I'm old. Of course, I'm not an athlete. And I'm doing everything I can to slowly take it back. And yet I'm falling back and I am swaying so that to get back, and I'm keeping my back behind, but it's at the wrong place behind. How do I stop from that little sway? Because even that 3 degrees of sway will affect everything.
You know, I don't know. If you could answer that, you'll sell a book helping people do that. I don't know. I don't
know how to do it.
I think most people's concept is wrong. Like, most people are trying to hit up on the ball. You might be somewhere inside deep in your concept thinking the club has to be going up to hit the ball rather than down. And it has to be going down because the ground's under the ball, you know. And I think all this
which leads
from the backswing leads. Yeah, okay.
If you're supposed to swing out to right field, how can you swing out while swinging down?
It's an optical illusion.
I understand it's an optical illusion, but you're trying to sweep out to right field and hit down on the ground.
I would focus more on the down.
Geoff, this is fruitless. Geoff, what the hell kind of champion are you?
How many pros have you been through?
Well, Rich, I'm going to give you an image that might help you to reduce your swaying. I want you to imagine that you've swallowed a giant rebar. It's gone down through your entire body cavity into the ground. And therefore, you can only turn around this piece of steel that's gone through your entire soul.
And it's right through the crack of my ass, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I was going to leave that unsaid.
I'm turning on a maypole.
Yes.
Is what you're thinking. Right.
I don't know if Geoff endorses that, but that might help you because I've thought about that. And
did it help you?
Yeah, it didn't really help me, but it's a horrifying thought. I coach girls high school basketball, and I'm always trying to stress the importance of keeping your pivot foot down. And I always say, pretend this giant rusty nail went right through your shoe, right through your foot, into the hardwood. You cannot move your pivot foot. And it always horrifies them, but it actually works. They've never forgotten that. So I think the same principle applies.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. I try and do that, sitting on the bar stool with that pole going through my body. I do that. Second thing, I try and extend my left leg, straighten it out. Am I correct?
At what part in your swing?
Okay, I'm going to have to stand up to do it. Okay. I go back, I down on my left, and then they say doing this. Am I correct with this?
Yeah, it'll straighten. Absolutely. Yeah.
It'll straighten. If I straighten, how do I still stay down while I'm straightening the leg?
The hip's supposed to go left. Like your hips are turning. Like Alan said, if you're on the
It should go like that. Well, he wants me to get my right hip back. So I do this. So the right hip is going to go through because I can't do anything. But how am I staying down? Do I have my right knee go down? It's just these contrapositions are confusing to me. Does this make sense to you? If I am raising my leg, I seem to be standing up. What is the way that you stay down while still extending your left leg?
I think we need to spend some time on the range, maybe.
You what?
I think we need to go to the driving range.
Okay, Geoff. If anything comes out of this, I'd like to go to the range. The range is my favorite place. I sometimes like it more than the golf course, but not the mats, because the mats make me a good player even when I suck, which I do all the time. I love the range. The bad thing is I live in New York and I had 3 children. And I will tell you that an urban area and 3 children will ruin a golf game, because I used to be pretty good. And then that came into my life. And it just, if you ever want to tell anybody, say, don't have children and live close to a driving range. Close to a golf course. Kids will ruin a golf game. If you're a good parent, kids will ruin a golf game.
It's about priorities, Rich. I would say golf over parenting most of the time. You did it wrong, but I think I speak for all the listeners when I say that Geoff and Rich is the buddy movie we didn't know we needed. Like I would, it's the Thelma and Louise remake.
We look like brothers.
I want you guys in a convertible driving around the Southwest, like stopping at driving ranges like that. That's 2 hours I would gladly spend $12 on right there.
Yeah. The bad thing is I am truly a student of the game, and it's not that I like changing. I like adding things to my game, whereas I wish I could take the advice of step up and just hit the ball. However, I haven't played much since Thanksgiving, this being January 20th or something like that. Maybe I played 2 or 3 times. I know what's in my head what I have to work on. I played the last 2 days. I was so bad. It's horrible. Finally today, I started doing things right. I started swinging out and yet coming around, which is so interesting to me. And sometimes, you know what I found out today? Truly what swinging easy means. I truly did. I saw that I was trying to extend, and that kept me stiff, and then just swinging easy and being pretty. I think that I know that sounds crazy. I think sometimes being pretty, trying to be a ballet dancer, just trying to have a fluid motion as opposed to doing things right, I think sometimes helps. Am I just out of my mind?
No, I think that's the secret is not caring if you miss. You know, all these tensions and all these little tighten ups and stuff we do on our downswings and our swing. It's all, oh my God, don't go right, don't go right, don't go right, don't go right, or don't go left. We're trying to not do something as opposed to just be free. Like a kid, when he hits a ball, you give him a stick and say, hit this ball over there, and they just walk up and hit the ball over there. They're not trying to hit it bad, right? So it's trying to find your way back to your childlike headspace somehow as an adult, which is really hard.
First of all, the best advice is learn while you're young, because then the club head is stronger than your arms. Now my arms are stronger than the weight of the club head, so I try and take my club head to where it belongs. Whereas if you're 6 years old, you can do nothing but swing the club head correctly because you can't control it. Look, the question that I really want to ask, that everybody wants to ask, but I will not get an answer, is why am I strong? Why does it sound great? Why is everything moving correctly? And the ball does not go as far as I want.
It's a mystery. We have to go to a driving range.
You might be missing the sweet spot. If you're missing,
Alan, I'm hitting the sweet spot.
Oh.
It's a timing issue.
I'm telling you, the ball goes exactly correctly. And I just end up 20 to 30 yards behind the next guy. I just do. And I know you lose 3 yards for every year that you as you grow older, but I should not be hitting it as short as I am. And I'm hitting it. It sounds great. It looks great. I was with a foursome this morning. I didn't know anybody, and they're going, "Oh, you're pretty great. Oh, what beautiful golf swing." I don't. However, for these guys, and they're pretty good. They were single digits. Proud of my golf swing. It kills me. It's just upsetting.
When was the last time you got a new driver, and were you custom fit for it?
It's all new.
Oh, okay.
Let's not go there because
never mind.
They're gorgeous clubs and they're great. I can hit them well.
Okay. And
they were custom fit. Do you really believe that custom fitting makes that big a difference?
I do. I mean,
Then let me ask you something, because I think this is interesting. You're custom fit for golf clubs, and then you completely change your swing. The teacher tells you, what do you do?
Get fit again.
So you have to get fit again.
But how much are you changing your golf swing at this point in your life? I mean, what you think is a big change is infinitesimal.
Alan, I changed it dramatically.
Sounds like it changes daily.
It changes from hole to hole. Yeah, no, I have truly, truly changed it dramatically. I am using much more of my arms than I am when I was learned when I was young to use your body. He just says, look, when you throw a ball, you don't think of, oh my gosh, how did I just, switch and where did it go? You throw the ball and your body follows. So he has me dropping the club and then swinging out. Do you like that?
That's where you lost 30 yards. You've got this handsy, armsy, flippy swing. You got to use the big muscles. You got to turn. That's where the speed is. Am I right, Geoff?
I think
Come
he's
on.
saying that they come into they come into play without your even questioning it. You don't even think about it. Which is what you do. Which is
Find
what you do.
And find another one. That's my advice.
He's great. I'm hitting the ball really well. I used to have a nice draw to the ball. I don't anymore. But, what Oh God, he's a great teacher. He's tremendous. And
Yeah, but he cost you 30 yards. How great can he be? You just lost 30 yards because this teacher.
No. I'm hitting the same distance. I've always done this. I think part of it is I'm trying to hit the ball, with this, whereas I used to cup. So that is one thing that he has taught. So I'm consistent with that, but I used to scoop. He has got me. I just need lesson after lesson and driving range after driving range. And I got to join a golf club in New York. I never belonged to a golf club in New York, and that's where I live. I belong to a great course out in L.A.
Regularity is the secret. Absolutely. Doing it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistency. Yeah. Just do it all the time.
Consistency.
So outside of the standard of your game, where's your favorite places you've played? Have you played everywhere around the world or around the country?
Geoff, I honestly have. I am a blessed man. I will tell you that one of my favorite places, Michael has taken me to, and he remembers it, Pine Valley. I just love Pine Valley. My favorite place to play in the world is Riviera. It's my favorite, and I play well there all the time. I don't know why. I always break 90 there. I just play well there. What else? I loved, Castle Stewart in Scotland has great memories for me. And the one that's right by the railroad tracks in Scotland. You get off the train and you're right there. Prestwick?
Troon? Oh.
Is it
Prestwick's right on a train. So is Troon.
Yeah, I think it's
lots of
Prestwick,
them are on a train, actually, in Scotland.
But I mean, you step off and you're in the clubhouse. Do you know which one? You don't know. Well, you should get the
It sounds like Prestwick. Was the first hole totally blind with no fairway? You can only hit like a 7-iron off the tee?
I don't remember. It was so many years ago. It's just
okay. That would be Prestwick.
I really do love. I mean, Are you? Have you played the Discovery properties, Geoff or Alan?
I've played a few of them. Cabo, what's that one?
You played in Cabo.
Eldorado is great fun. Yeah,
and I loved it. I loved Eldorado, and I've been lucky enough to play that a few times because I have a few friends who belong there, and I'm a good friend with Mike Meldman. So I've been a very, very lucky recipient of some of those. Oh, the one that's in is it Coeur d'Alene? Is that?
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene's fun too. How nice is that place? Yeah,
that is stunning. And I once took a trip. This has nothing to do with golf, but I once took a trip with my family, and we were going to Bryce Canyon, and my son didn't want to take the hike. And I said, Max, there is no more beautiful place on the earth than where we are right now. And he goes, Dad, you know I'm not a fan of scenery. And that just always made me laugh. But that course in Coeur d'Alene is just as scenic a place as you'll ever play. But all of its courses are. They're beautiful. So I do like that. Where else? I've never been to Hilton Head. Where else? Okay, I'm going to tell you, I think Pebble is great. I think Pebble's just fantastic. And I refuse to play there unless I'm taken there. I think that how they overcharge, that ruins a round of golf for me. That's somebody with a big swagger saying, hey, look at me, we'll charge you $6.50 to round, and you got to pay a caddy, and you got to stay in our hotel. It's enough that this is an elite sport. But when you wear it on your sleeve like that, I think it's disgraceful. I just do.
You prefer like humble municipal courses like Riviera. I get it.
But there are great municipal courses. Montauk Downs, I love. The one up north near San Luis Obispo and all of there. There's a beautiful one. I can't remember names.
Bethpage Black's pretty good, or Bethpage all of them.
No, Bethpage Black. No, all of those. Yeah. And you know something else? They're all great at Bethpage. The red, the orange. Do you agree with that? I mean, yes, Bethpage Black, phenomenal, but they all are. They're all difficult, and they all play long. I think they're great. Yeah, I've just been the lucky recipient of being taken to many places. What do you call it? Ridgewood out in New Jersey.
That's a nice one.
It's so great. These hidden gems. I've been. What's the one in Pittsburgh?
Oakmont.
What Oakmont? I'm just lucky. I'm lucky.
Michael, give us a scouting report on Rich's game. We've heard a lot from him, but I want an expert, view on this.
I've never played well with Michael or with our dear friend Jay or with Mike Robin. I've not played well.
Did you play well with my close personal friend David Sumlove III?
With who? David Love III?
Yes.
I did. I played well with him. Did he say I played awful?
You were about 49 at the time, and I believe Davis's exact quote was, if he could find a range, he could probably play his way onto the senior tour. I believe that's exactly what he said.
Oh, that's terrible. He did not. But we played like 3 holes, and I played pretty okay with him.
How'd you play with Fred?
With who?
Fred Couples.
I think I was looking at his game more than mine.
That's smart.
I don't think I played that guy. I'll tell you who I played very well with. Fred Scoffer. What's his name?
Vandeveld?
No. He's not French. He's skinny. Oh, what's his name? Lovely guy. I played at the Hope with him, and he was playing so poorly, and I was playing so well. He forgot his game, and he just kept coaching me. He's such a lovely man. Maybe Swedish.
Oh, that would help.
Thin.
Carl Pedersen?
No.
No, you said thin guy.
Yeah. Oh, thin. Sorry.
Robert Carlson?
No. A funny French name. Oh, my God. You know exactly who it is.
Well, Alan,
I am such a bad interview because I bring up stories and people, and I go, oh, you know who it is.
Rich, have you kept up your membership at Lakeside?
I have.
For those who don't know Lakeside, it's an old-timey Hollywood hangout. Bing Crosby, I believe, was a member there. I think Bob Hope was a member there. Rich, I don't know if that's correct.
Bing Crosby was club champion for many years. They did not let actors into LA Country Club. So the actors had to create their own club. And they did in the Valley. And this is Bob Hope, Bing Crosby. But, I mean, people like Johnny Weissmuller, Oliver Hardy, William Frawley from I Love Lucy, Humphrey Bogart. Are we allowed to curse on this show?
Yes, please.
Okay. Some of the legendary stories is that Humphrey Bogart came up to the starter and said, is anybody going out? And they go, Bill Fields is going out. W.C. Fields, he's on the first tee. So Humphrey Bogart comes up, he goes, listen, if you mind if I join you? And supposedly W.C. Fields says, if I wanted to play with my dick, I'd go home, and to play with a dick, I'd go home and play with myself. That's what he said to Humphrey Bogart. Forrest Tucker, who was, can I tell all these stories that are legendary about Lakeside?
Definitely.
Please.
Okay. They're much more interesting about where I played. Forrest Tucker was supposed to be very, very well endowed. And he was a member of, if you don't know who Forrest Tucker is, he was the captain in F Troop. And he was very, very well hung. And supposedly he had a putt that they wouldn't give him. He said, really? You're not giving me that putt? They go, no. They would go, we want to see it. He goes, I could put that in with my dick. At which point he pulled out his dick and putted it in. So that's terrible.
Should we maybe just end the podcast now? I don't think we're going to top that.
Can you keep that in the podcast? I don't know.
Oh, that's in the podcast.
Jean, what's his name? Jean
Vanderbilt.
No. And he wears a hat to the side. Jesus, God,
Jesper
Richard.
Parnovic.
Yes, Jesper Parnevik. Jesper Parnevik was playing so poorly that he like almost gave up and just kept coaching me. I was really playing well. So there were certain times, it was one of those days you play well. I played well with Rich Beam. I had played with Rich just after he won the Open. And I happened to have played with him, played very well. There are times when I play well. But these are years ago. These were years ago. Like I said, kids, they ruined my game.
As you surely know, Linksoul is a clothing and a lifestyle brand. I've been wearing it for at least a decade. It's cool stuff. It's super comfy. Everyone at the Fire Pit loves it. We're believers. If you go to linksoul.com and use the promo code FirePit25, you will get 25% off your purchase. You're welcome. And we're also giving away a $250 Linksoul gift card per episode. So go to the Fire Pit YouTube channel and leave a comment from this episode and say how much you loved it, because surely you're loving it. You're a golf fan. You have to be loving this. And the winners will be notified and promoted on our Instagram and our Twitter feed. So get involved. We're trying to have some fun. But we also have to pay the bills here at the Fire Pit Collective. So back to Need a Fourth. Michael completely punted on giving a scouting report on your game. So what's the lowest index ever?
Did you ask Freddie Couples about my game? He doesn't remember my game.
I think
he wouldn't remember my game.
I think Fred's precise words were, how old is Rich? And I said, he's 49 and a half. Fred said, good. 6 months. If he can get himself to the range, I think he can make it on the senior tour. I believe that's what he said.
That's what he said about Davis. You're recycling your stories.
Fred doesn't have any original thoughts. He just repeats whatever Davis says. Here's Rich's game. And Geoff brings up a lot of tennis analogies. He'll especially appreciate this. Guys who take, they want you to take the ball when it's high, but some guys wait for it to go down and then they get low and they come up on it and they turn it over, and it doesn't have great velocity and it's about a yard or two over the net, but it's deep. It's deep and it's heavy. That's Rich with 14 clubs, including putter. It's deep and it's heavy. It's in play. He's got actually a beautiful rhythm. His question, which I would love to ask the same question of Geoff, is a very telling one because it shows a level of self-awareness, which is so important, of course, in life, but let's forget about life. In golf, self-awareness is so important. He moves considerably off the ball, as do I. It's very rhythmic, and it's kind of flat for a big, tall man, and it doesn't go very high, and it goes far on the ground, and it's deep. So it's a very effective game, and you could absolutely bring Rich anywhere. Rich, I'm surprised you don't play in the AT&T tournament, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, because you'd be perfect for that.
Thank you. I was asked once, and I turned it down because I had an opportunity to be in a movie with Alan Arkin. And I was going to do scenes with Alan Arkin, and that's what I chose to do.
Well, you made a bad decision, but that's okay.
Terrible decision.
I would love to play in the AT&T. I would kill to play. Okay, here's a story. Back in the day when I was a decent player, I won the Bing Crosby. How about that for my resume?
We don't really know. Rich, if I may, we don't know what you're talking about.
I won the Bing Crosby.
Is that a club championship?
Here's
good.
The Bing Crosby tournament was started at Lakeside. It was the clam bake. They got all the talent that was at Lakeside when he was in his prime, and they all performed. They moved it up to Pebble Beach and put Bing Crosby's name on it. In his will, Bing Crosby said, this tournament can never go corporate. Well, we know that the world has changed, and they could not afford to keep it without a corporate sponsor. AT&T took it over. But in his will, they were not allowed to call it the Bing Crosby AT&T. It was called the AT&T. So they took the Bing Crosby to South Carolina. Am I correct? Is that what there's a tournament? Sarah Lee was the sponsor, but it was the Bing Crosby.
None of this sounds correct, but keep going.
No. This is correct. What I'm telling you is the truth. I don't believe there were any professional golfers but it was still a charity event called the Bing Crosby. You got paired up, a celebrity got paired up with either somebody who had bought in or a Sarah Lee executive, of which I did, and the two of us won it, and we split $120,000 to donate to different charities.
Alan, you want to hear a shocker?
Yes.
It's totally correct. There are.
I love it.
Rich, 1 second. Rich, 1 second. Alan, there are many threads that are wildly off, but the big picture is correct. In '86, after Bing died, Bing died in about 74. Bing was dead, and Mrs. Crosby. Do you remember her name, Rich?
Catherine.
Mary.
No. Catherine, not Mary. Catherine. Thank you.
Catherine.
She and Nathaniel took the event to South Carolina for a year or two.
Yes.
And I think they did call it the Bing Crosby. I think
it was longer than 2 years. It was for a few years. Okay. Sarah Lee was the sponsor.
That's true.
And you donated money. And I won it. I did. I won it.
That's awesome.
I donated 60,000. People kept coming up to me. Oh, donate. Give some money to my charity. Give some money. And I mean, it was like a lottery winner. You don't want to be a lottery winner. Okay. You want to hear a golf story you're not going to want to hear?
Yes.
I'm playing Sherwood, of which Sean Connery belonged to Sherwood. Sean Connery comes up behind us. We're going to let him play through. He's a member, and he's Sean Connery, and we're going to let him play through. I hit a ball to the right. There's water, like a creek, along on the right, to par 5. I push the ball to the right. Up comes Sean Connery. Sean Connery really pushes it to the right, into the water. We don't say anything. He goes up ahead. It's a ball, keeps playing. I go up. My ball isn't there. I look in the water. There's a Sherwood ball. I don't have a Sherwood ball. That's right where his ball would have been. He hit mine, and he pulled the gold finger. And I tell my son this story. I say, honey, you never, ever cheat, because Sean Connery does not remember that shot, that hole, that round of golf. It means nothing to him. And yet his cheating will be remembered for the rest of my life.
I played at Bel Air Country Club right in front of James Garner, who was a member. And Michael, do you remember?
At Bel Air or Riv? Was he at Bel Air?
This is Bel Air. Okay. Michael, do you remember our editor friend Greg Kelly from Sports Illustrated?
Of course.
He was a very deliberate golfer. And James Gardner was not happy. And we probably played in 4 hours and 15 minutes. We were not horribly slow, but it was slower than he wanted. And he was riding our ass the entire round. And finally on 18, he hit into us and stormed up. And I'll never watch another James Garner show on rerun after that. Yes. So these things have lasting repercussions. I'll tell you that.
You were probably playing too slow.
My point is, why wait till the 18th hole? He should have taken action sooner. We would have let him play through, but he was this brooding presence behind us the whole time. Anyway.
Well, I've got two things to say, Alan. Number one, there is nothing bad about letting somebody go through ever, even if you're playing quickly. If somebody's playing quicker or wants to come through, what the hell? You're talking about 4 to 6 minutes of your life. Let them go through. It's nothing bad. And the second thing is, I would rather play, even if I'm not playing leisurely, even if I'm playing quickly, I don't want anybody on my tail ever, 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 ever on my tail. That makes me feel upset. And it's like, I don't want anybody throwing clubs, not because of that. is because, especially if I'm gambling, if somebody's unhappy, I'm such an empathetic person. I'm going to want that person to win because he's so upset, even though I'm going to lose money. So I say, don't
we need to go play for some money now. You've given us that.
Oh, yeah, but you don't throw clubs. Have you ever thrown a club, Geoff?
Maybe.
Have you really? Have you ever thrown a club?
Well, you play for a long time and you care about what you do. Yeah, it happens.
I didn't say you didn't get upset. I'm not saying you didn't pound your club into the ground. I said, did you ever throw a club?
It's happened. Not proud of it. Sometimes.
How old were you?
You got to stick them on your grips, Sometimes your grips get slippery.
Did you ever do it at a tournament?
Well, we have to define what a throw is, I think.
It's a frisbee.
It's never gone more than 5 yards, probably. But sometimes it needs to get back to the bag.
So you flipped it.
Somewhere between a throw and a toss. Yeah. A flip.
Yeah, you've tossed it. No, I said throw a club. Golf is a gentleman's game. And that's why you let people go through. I'm sorry, you can't act like a gentleman. I can. Go through. You want to be an asshole? You be an asshole. Here's the red carpet. Go on through. That's just how I play.
There's nothing more fun than watching someone implode on the golf course, though.
Nothing. I agree with that. The only way that I'll let them throw a club is I will then go, I gotcha, right where I want you. You're going to lose so much fucking money. I'm going to wring my hands at the end. Yes, Michael.
I have never met a golfer who has not thrown a club at some point in their life. If you are that golfer, I stand in awe.
Stand in awe. I will never throw a golf club. I will put it down. I will go, oh my God, and it will toss and it will fall. But I'm talking about, oh God, damn it, and throw it and wing it.
I had one last year where it was a short par 5 and I hit it well and the ball sitting up in the left rough. And I thought I could get home with a hybrid. And the 3 other guys were on the far right. And it's just perfect. It's inviting. It's like sitting on a tee. And I whiffed it and I topped it and went into the lake. And I threw that club as far as I possibly could. And while that club was in the air, my first thought was, oh, fuck. Now the ball's in the water and the club is too. The second thought is, do not make any eye contact because then for sure you're caught. Anyway, ball was in the water, club was not. But that was only last year at 61. So anyway,
so you've thrown, and you are a very even-keeled man.
We all lose it.
Well, I agree.
I've heard it's difficult to throw them straight too. I've heard.
The one that makes me laugh is the guy who throws it. It hits the tree and bounces back and hits him in the head and kills him.
Yeah, Rich, the late release over the shoulder happens.
Rich, there was can you help us out here? There was a thing very well, Matt Damon. There was a bit about Matt Damon and something in DC. It's on the internet. Can you fill us in? What is that whole thing about?
I will tell you, and then you're going to ask me to tell the story. I don't tell the story. George Clooney is one of my best friends. And an opportunity for personal reasons came up where he had to be my roommate for a couple of months. And so he stayed in my apartment. While he lived in my apartment, he did a practical joke and he took a dump in my kitty litter box. Now, that is the shortened and very shortened version of the story. I don't tell the story anymore.
Let's move on. Rich, what can George shoot on a good day?
Oh, on a good day, he broke 80 at Sherwood years ago.
That's solid.
He's a very good athlete. However, he was a great baseball player. And as you know, baseball players and hockey players can hit the ball. But if he doesn't have the natural swing and he doesn't know how to get there because he doesn't know the mechanics of a golf swing, knows the mechanics of a baseball bat. But if he doesn't know the mechanics of a golf swing and is off kilter and you're just a couple of degrees off taking it back or coming in, he'll shoot 120. And he's somebody who used to get it. He's good at everything. He's good at being good at everything. So he's been touched by God, and he's a good athlete. And he's a good ping pong player and a tennis player and a basketball player. And golf, we all know, if you're not on, are you off? And he was off, and he can get off. And he used to throw the club, and then he just realized, as we all do, we're not good enough to warrant being angry. It's just what we are. Well, we can be upset. We can be really upset. And when I'm playing great, there's nobody you want to play with other than me if I'm playing great. And if I'm playing poorly, and I'm a nice man, and just get out of my way. Just shut up. So upset. But I don't throw a club, Geoff. I don't throw a club.
Well done.
Rich, what can Larry David shoot on a good day?
Okay. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories about Larry David. Number one, I was at El Dorado playing with Larry. I was one of those days where I was playing really well. I would get in the golf cart and go, "Oh, my God, you're so good. Oh, my God, you're such a good golfer. Oh, my God, It made me laugh so hard because that day I was a really good golfer. And he was playing fine. He wasn't playing badly. I was playing magnificent. All he could do was go, "Oh, my God, you're so good. You're so good. It's unbelievable." So I played well that day. Here is a great story about Larry. You're all familiar with the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode with the white swan, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the episode, we're filming it at Mountain Gate. There is a hole there, which if you know Mountain Gate, you hit straight out a drive. All you want is straight, and then all you want is straight to the left. It is as left angled or right angled a hole as you could ever wish for. You hit it there, you hit it there. Okay? It is there and there. He's supposed to pull the golf ball into the water where he goes down to retrieve his ball, and there he gets attacked near the water by a white swan. So what he was going to do, they turned the camera's behind him. When you hit a golf ball, unless you're tracking it or you have those special cameras, the golf cameras are, you can see where the golf ball is. He hits the ball, and they're going to say, "We just hit it 3 times, and we're not going to yell cut. Just get down, hit 3 times." And after each shot, we're supposed to go, oh, you pulled what a shame. Nice try, you pulled like that. He gets up. 1, no. 2, no. 3, no. Camera cuts. Oh, my God. Everyone straight. They must have been within 6 inches of each other. It's because he didn't have to hit the ball. He was supposed to hit the ball poorly, and so he was relaxed. He was supposed to look like it was bad. He swung perfectly. If that is not a lesson for this podcast, I don't know what is. Everyone, you couldn't go down and place it in a more perfect spot. 3 balls. Boom, boom, boom. Did you just talk to your wife?
No.
Michael Bamberger?
I did not talk to my wife, no.
Who were you talking to? Who's more important than me right now? Who could possibly be more important than your wife and me?
Nobody, Rich.
Then you were talking like this. I saw you.
Well, we did this morning. We did our company Zoom, and we've got a guy in Michigan who's snowed in. Here in California, it's quite chilly today, and Michael turns his camera on, and it's palm trees, and he's in shorts and a t-shirt. He's glistening in the sun, and I was like, "Wow, Philadelphia's really changed. It's not what we remember." And so he's been taking shrapnel all day long. So,
yes.
Are you in Orlando?
No, I'm in North Palm Beach. I'm at a public golf course in North Palm Beach.
You're in Palm Beach?
I'm in North Palm Beach.
I'm in Palm Beach.
I know you are. You're in Boca.
You're in Boca.
I know.
Oh, my God. Where were you playing?
I was just hitting balls at a driving range here, but they have a grass range, but unfortunately on Thursdays you can only hit off the mats.
I have a question. Saturday morning, if we need a fourth for a tee time.
Did you say need a fourth? You're totally on brand.
And then I'm flying home to see your Eagles lose to my Giants.
That will be very exciting for one of us.
That's right.
All right, Alan, I'm going to turn this over to you. You do as you wish from here on to the house.
Wait, I do want to tell you how good a golfer Larry is.
Yeah.
Larry, like me, whenever anybody asks, what's my handicap? I say, look at me. That's my handicap. Larry is a very, very good golfer. And if you want to talk to him about anything, talk to him about his golf swing, and you will have his attention, and you won't have to worry about him being a curmudgeon. He will talk golf for as long as you want. He loves it.
Okay, well, I think we just found another guest for the Need a Fourth podcast.
Well, good luck getting him, but he will talk. We'd be thrilled.
I thought you were offering to make it happen, Rich. Aren't you going to broker it?
I could text him and say you may have a good time. You
may have a good time.
You guys are all very nice, but I'm very forgiving. What sport do you think, what athletes do you think play the best golf?
Hockey.
Geoff, I couldn't agree with you more.
Definitely.
I am astounded at how good they are. Astounded.
I think ball players are good. Quarterbacks are good. The quarterbacks are good golfers.
The quarterbacks good, yeah.
Carson Palmer, Romo. These guys are good players. Yeah, Derek Anderson.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hockey players have got such a good move. See, they hit down on it.
Yeah.
Hockey players are hitting down. You know, they're not trying to get underneath the puck. They're on top of it and they're smashing it into the ice. And that's what they do with the ball. And they hit the ball instantly well. You know, hockey players. Fantastic.
But also their touch. I was at a tournament somewhere in California, and they had to hit over a branch onto a green. They were spectacular. Spectacular. And luckily, I did it. I mean, but that's when I was good. Now it's, it would be under the branch and across the green. It's just, my chipping is just, hey, it's 10 strokes. Just 10 strokes of my game are because I sculled it across. And I think I'm doing it right, and it just upsets me. Upsets me to no end.
But I was a cart boy for 3 summers at Pebble Beach Golf Links, and that's kind of where I learned how to play golf. And the NHL Players Association came out. They had some sort of boondoggle with a bunch of the players, and it was like 8 a.m. They all came to the first tee, about 20 of them. Everyone's drinking hard already, and Jeremy Roenick was the first guy to hit. And if you know the first hole at Pebble Beach, even though you don't like to pay the greens fee there, Rich, but you may recall it's a short dog leg par 4. It's only a hybrid, maybe a 4-iron. They weren't even playing it all the way back. He has his driver, and everyone's saying that's too much club. It's too much club. You can't hit driver here. He's like, no, I'm just going to fade it around the corner. I'm going to try and hit it on the green, and he wound up hitting it dead straight, and it went over the bunker, over the tree, and almost hit this house up on the hill that's never been in play for any human being.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
And these guys fell down on the tee box. It's one of the most memorable golf swings I've ever seen. But
that's like at my club, if you know 12 and 13 are 2 very short par 4s. And so I said to the guest that I had, put your driver away. You don't want to hit driver. And anyway, we got to the 50th hole, which abuts that thing. And the guy on the tee was hitting a driver. And he goes, well, he's hitting a driver. And I go, well, that guy's an idiot. And he's old-time Australian golfer. I can't think of his name. But he was a world champion golfer and hit the green with his driver. So I can't think of who it is. All I remember is we got in a huge fight Democrat, Republican. He was a huge right winger. You know who I'm talking about, Geoff?
It could be PGA Tour right winger. You're casting a large net.
You're right. I know. I got the huge fights with Wayne Gretzky over all of that stuff. So, look, I'll stick my nose in it anywhere.
Clearly,
Alan, as Michael Murphy once said on this podcast, this is a dangerous group.
I love it. Rich, you've been extremely generous with your time.
I've loved it. This is a blast.
Before we send you back out into the wilds of a Florida retirement community, any final stories you want to share from your vast repertoire here? This is your last chance to offend our listeners.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I have one story. This is all about me.
Good. Great.
My dad wanted me to play golf so badly. And all I said was, I don't want to. And my dad said, okay. And I said to my kids, I'm not going to do that to you. You're going to learn how to swing a golf club. Now, being in New York, it's tough to do that, but all my kids know how to swing a club. They don't know how to play, but they all know how to swing a golf club. I said, you don't have to go out and play, but I believe that a young person, that every young person should learn the game of golf and not play. They should learn, because the day will come when they want to play, and their body will know how to make that turn and what to aspire to. When I finally took up the game and I started playing with my father, I'll have to stand for this. If I'm chipping towards the pin, go like that. This particular teacher at the time had me face the target and swing like this. So my hips were already facing towards the target. And I go up to chip the ball. And my dad goes, what are you doing? And I go, I'm chipping the ball. And he goes, no. What are you doing with your hips? You hit the ball. And I go, I am. My teacher said, put your hips up. He goes, no, you don't do that. And I go, it's what my teacher said. If you want to know what kind of man, what kind of golfer my dad was, this is what he said. No son of mine chips a ball like that. That's my father.
Well, I salute him, because that's not the way to chip a ball.
Of course, but that doesn't matter. That's what your teacher tells you. You do that. Of course, you change over the years, but it always made me laugh. That's how commanding my dad was. It's as loud as he was. He loved it. When he passed away, he was a 6 handicap. I wish he played for the Army. You know, he was a great golfer. And he was a very gregarious and loud man. So to say that's who I was raised by. That's my dad.
I love it. Well,
so I'm glad we'll end it on a story about my dad.
Yeah, it's a nice grace note after some of the other topics we covered on this podcast.
But he retired to a place called Champion Hills, which is Tom Fazio's. It's such a glorious course. Tom Fazio moved his family there and raised his family there in North Carolina.
I love it. That's
beautiful. Outside of Asheville. Guys, what a pleasure. Michael, I never get to see you, so it's truly nice to see you.
Same here, Rich. Thank you.
Geoff, thank you. What a
good
pleasure.
stuff, Rich. Yeah, brilliant.
Well, that was Rich Kind. My cheeks are actually sore from smiling for an hour and 10 minutes, or whatever that was. That was ridiculously fun. Thank you for making that happen, Michael.
Yeah, it was great. He's a good guy, and he actually is very self-aware. How he described his golf game really is how he plays, and he does try to catch it on the upswing. Every club he tries to catch on the upswing, and it goes very low.
Funny. Yeah. Well, he clearly loves it. Golf's his thing, right? He loves it.
Yep.
That was, I mean, we'll huddle up with our editor, Jake Muldowney, exactly what's going to make the final cut, because he worked a little blue, but that's part of the fun. We're all adults here. I think it's all going to stay, Jake. whatever your discomfort level may be. But yeah, that was great stuff. All right, we're gonna end this podcast.
Jake said I should ask him about Red Oaks, his show, and I forgot. It was in my head the whole time, and I never got there. But Jake, I'm going to have an answer for you. Rich Kind was on a show called Red Oaks. It was set at a country club, I think, in suburban New York, and Jake did remind me of it, and I am aware of it. And I'm sorry I didn't get to it, but I will get you an answer. All right, we better let Geoff go here.
Yeah. So this was the Needed Fourth podcast. Thank you for listening. We have a lot of fun guests lined up. So for Geoff Ogilvy, Michael Bamberger, Richard Kind, I'm Alan Shipnuck. Thanks for listening, and we'll do it again soon.
Oh my God, this is a dangerous group here.